MerriweatherA.Law, advancing clients with us, S1L5. The ball's in your court. Quotes, not insurance quotes. That's a testimony. Verizon. Why? Business plans. Running a business isn't simple, but choosing a Verizon plan, wireless plan is. Request a personal consultation at verizonwireless.com/biz. Tap into a better network. Get all the data and control your business needs. You've got Zinc in a business. Try it from QVC.com. Steam-powered virtual reality, not reality. And windmobile.ca. Gone with the wind. There is a solution. Let's talk about it. Only from windmobile.ca. There is a solution to gone.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's been a little while since we've met in this venue.
Hello, Josh Ernst.
It's nice to get together again.
Data video is November 9. There is a solution.
I think this briefing is going to go a little different than
Let's
we
go.
anticipated it would 24 hours ago. But I'll certainly do my best to answer many questions you may have in the aftermath.
Pink Shorts is in front of a live democracy. There is a solution.
Three things, actually. The first is that I think the president and the tone.
Both expose and approve. Thank you for writing and real. They knew. Safety video. This is Auditorium Station. Next station, Seneca Nation of Indians Reservation. Nor Club with Us on Sundays. Auditory Nerve. A Ceebus iPhone.
And working to ensure
there is a solution. Restitution of all state and federal funds is applicable to a volunteer status. The all second thing is, that's right, of 18 USC 1385. This is Pink Shorts. Civil Code section, June 22nd, dismiss.
Exactly.
WUGceLANcex. We haven't added any other judges to the show.
There certainly is a lot of speculation.
But you're providing support.
Most of that speculation emanates from people who predict.
Yeah, people. We didn't add that one.
So that's the essence.
The use of land zoning, loss prevention of electoral college. Oh, hi. Red, they. Here without the E. Tim Total Tom S. W1. And communicating with your patents via my client's medulla, primary cortex, primary visual, primary auditory, primary articulate fishy glyphs, hippocampus, vertical pennies. Dimes, nickels, quarters, BRCA, angular gyrus, or any part of the left or right hemisphere. Hemi. It's fixed. The brain is in agreement to the substance of identical evidence and at discretion of all contents of the thing will be for Pink Shorts. Remember, the business is not limited.
Again, less than 12 hours after the outcome of the election is known.
Yeah, where are those made?
Offer a lot of
less than 12. Who makes those?
But certainly in the
sweatshops, not limited. Contact us at 594-1443. Call us Cleo. Call me now. 1-800-98-ISABEL. 86 Mogul 3710.2. Dark.
Let me do my best to answer your questions.
The intent to CDMA of the world. Call us Cleo now. Two-party consent laws required to record and eavesdrop the President of the United States, the new President of the United States, Josh Ernst, or any White House entity, including the press pool, any confidential communication, including a private conversation, telephone call. This is a news program.
That the results last night
were part of the press without the consent of all parties to conversation. Penal Code Section 632.
I think that's an entirely fair question to ask.
It's correct. Sweatshops do.
Question to answer. I don't know that anybody has the direct answer to that question. Now,
child labor, CDMA, code division, multiple access.
Secretary Clinton won the popular vote.
Turn the water off.
Now, winning the popular vote is not what.
Yeah, turn it off. You know, my
onesie. The keys to the Oval Office.
I gotta change my onesie.
I think I know that everybody knew the rules going into the contest.
Service City.
But it does underscore the
service door to door service
depth of support and enthusiasm for her message.
But nobody showed up to the meeting of the creditors.
That is a testament to.
You got to help yourself. Black genius and pure genius only on CBS Thursdays.
Build support for
Help
a national
yourself.
campaign.
Statutes of limitations don't apply. We're in
The other thing that
scandal.
happens to be true is
I won the election. Why?
there are a lot of people.
It Pence.
Again, the math.
Intrusion
requires
claims in
this,
California
who
lasts for
voted
2 years.
Barack Obama in 2008,
Code section
who voted for his re-election in
335.1Z.
2012, and voted for Donald Trump in 2016.
They're intrusion in our onesie.
And I think it's.
I stutter
don't have an
too when I say
explanation for that,
onesie.
to put it bluntly.
I stutter too.
But
Onesie's a hard word to say.
I think
I
certainly all
think
of your networks,
certainly all your networks
and all of you are going to spend
and
some
all of
time
you are going to
pondering
spend
that
some
question.
time
Spend some time looking at the returns,
looking at the
looking at
returns,
the exit polls,
the
and
exit polls.
maybe even spending some time
Maybe
in
spend
some
some
of
time.
those communities across the
Those
country
communities.
where Mr. Trump
Yeah, there's a
President-elect
new
Trump
weed shop on
enjoyed such
Santa
strong
Monica.
support.
We won't be there next to the
support
community.
that exceeded
Spend
the
some time
expectations of
with probable
everybody,
cause
apparently even exceeded the
in
expectations
the
of the
LAPD.
Trump campaign.
We won't be there.
So that's a worthy
So
question.
that's
but
not happening. Let's talk about something else.
I'm not going to pretend I have
I'm not going to pretend.
a real direct answer for you.
Right answer for you.
But
We
it's,
don't do
it's one
drugs,
that's
Mr.
worthy of
Ernst.
careful
This is
consideration.
a news program.
Another thing that we heard him
We
say
inspire
last night
children
is
here.
that progress was on the ballot.
Duty of confidentiality and breach of patient confidentiality. No community, no doctor. Green cross denied to prevent a critical non-compliance, a probable cause, and smelling like contraband. Intrusion or seclusion is a special form of invasion of privacy. It applies when you intentionally intrude physically. Solitude is seclusion of a green cross or another. Ooh, in
Again, Darla,
moist
just with
states,
the
no
caution
green
that,
cross.
we're 12 hours, less than 12 hours away.
Intrusion or
from this,
seclusion will claim
election
must
being
generally
decided.
establish 4 elements, no green cross. First, without authorization, must have intentionally invaded the
There are
private
some
affairs of
things
the
that we
plaintiff.
knew to be true
Second, no green
before
cross.
the results started being
Offensive
touted.
to a reasonable person.
And one of
Third,
those things
no
was
green
that the
cross.
next president,
A private matter. And
whether it was
fourth and
Secretary
finally,
Clinton
no
or
green cross.
Mr. Trump,
Cause
we're
mental
gonna have
anguish or
some
suffering to the
difficult
plaintiff,
challenges
including
and some
no
difficult
green cross.
questions to
Santa
answer
Monica. Second,
with
Master
regard
claims
to
an
a
intrusion
range of
upon
policies.
seclusion. No time.
We know that our economy is facing
We know that
some
our
pretty
economy has the
intense
green cross.
headwinds from overseas.
Santa Monica.
What's the
105.
kind of approach that the next
Smoke,
president will
smoke,
take
smoke,
to
smoke,
ensuring
smoke,
that our
smoke,
economy can
smoke.
strengthen and navigate those
Navigate
headwinds,
those. For
in a way
what?
that benefits
109. We
the
won't be
American
child
middle class,
abusing
not
right
just those at
there.
the top. That's a difficult challenge. that
105
the
plus
president will
4.
have to face, and certainly
109.
President Trump
Child
will have to
abuse.
determine the best path. to
Determine the
confront
best path.
that. Either president would
We must go over that
inherit a
intersection
country
right now.
that has some deep and passionate.
Yeah, let's find the
differences.
Give us a
And
minute. We're
what
looking
will
for it.
President-elect Trump do to
President-elect
unite the country?
Bry. There's no
It won't
green
be
cross.
easy. We know that's for sure.
It won't be 109.
We do know that
105
we can
plus
count
4.
on the support of
It
President
won't.
Obama and
We're a
Secretary Clinton,
family
both who in the last
show.
couple of hours have pledged their support to him as he works to do
We're
that.
a family
Either
show.
Either Secretary Clinton or Mr. Trump would have faced
We don't do green cross.
a deeply divided
Next to
Congress
Walgreens. We just don't do it.
that appears totally dysfunctional. Or
Totally
at least it has appeared
dysfunctional.
Totally dysfunctional in the last 2 years.
All right, we found it.
And
What?
it's
Route
difficult to know.
105 plus the 4 Santa
Difficult to see
Monica.
how that's gonna
109. Chapter 109A.
and
Sexual
they'll have to
abuse.
navigate.
We
President
just
Trump and his
can't.
team will have to figure out how to navigate that situation.
We just can't
And
do it.
It won't be easy either.
U.S.
So,
Code Section 224.
I
Radio
guess the
Shack
point is,
lump
it's
in
too
sexual
early to
abuse
tell
of a minor
exactly what
award.
the impact will be. There will be an impact, but,
Dr. Mancini, what's on the hands?
but we knew there would be regardless of the outcome of the race. And there certainly
Yeah,
were some
compound it off. Compound.
priorities where Secretary Clinton didn't agree with President Obama. And
Oh, wow.
in a
Look at
different
this.
scenario, she would be. You'd
Look
be
at these
asking me the
notes
same
here.
question about some of those.
Yeah, private
policy
school,
priorities,
high
too.
school. They wanted us.
What's true is that
In a way, we can't be
the president-elect
wanted.
has some
What way would that be?
difficult questions to answer and some big challenges to tackle. And it's why it's so important
Hello,
to
elect.
be a smooth,
Chapter
and effective,
109A.
efficient transition from President Obama's
Yes,
presidency
yeah,
to
from President Obama.
Trump
Hello.
presidency,
Good
because
morning. I hope breakfast as
as
well.
Americans,
Lunch, dinner.
we're rooting for the success of
Is
our
this the
president
subjective of
in leading
office?
and uniting the country.
We can't say that here.
Are there any more details that you can
Josh
share
has to
about
say
the
it,
phone call
you know.
between the president and President-elect?
Josh, what is the objective of sexual abuse
Did they get into any issues or substance, or was it purely
in
just
Frontier Wireless?
congratulations on your victory?
My understanding is it was not a lengthy call.
My
It
objective
did take
is
place
that's true.
very, very late last
Very,
night.
very late.
And based on the fact that there was a
And
discussion
based on
about
the fact,
meeting in person
meeting
on
in
Thursday,
person, we can't wait.
the specifics of any sort of policy discussions will be left till then.
We can't wait.
Define not likely, less than a minute, couple minutes.
I
Good
don't know with a lot of
morning to
precision
everyone
exactly what the
meeting
timing
us.
was. If
Good
there's more
morning.
details about that we can provide, we'll do so. Okay. Jeff.
We can't tell you when it
Josh,
is. We know. We
on
just can't wait to see you.
Is there anything that the White House or your administration will do in the closing months to shore up
Today's show is sponsored by
priorities
Frontier
on
Communications. Get Frontier's most popular internet plan for $19.99
climate
with
change,
qualifying phone
the Iran
service,
deal,
1-year agreement
all of which
on
President
new
Trump
internet
called into
service.
question?
Order now and get a $400
Well,
carry
let me start by saying
amazing
that President
Amazon
Obama
gift
will remain in
card.
office and will
Switch
be
to
the President of
Frontier
the United States until
today.
January 20th. And we will pursue policies,
Is Josh
according,
working for AT&T?
including the kinds of priorities that you
I'm not
have
sure
just
about that. I don't know.
enumerated. What's also true is
What's
that
also
the
true,
President-elect,
President-elect,
in the context
in
of
the
a
context
smooth
of,
and effective transition,
we know it's a Benghazi scandal.
we'll have an opportunity
We know.
to get briefed
4 years.
by
It interchanges.
members of President Obama's team and actually have a
It
conversation with President Obama
interchanges.
himself about some of these priorities.
It interchanges. It interchanges.
I'm not going to speak for him or predict exactly what sort of policy decisions he's
Yeah,
going to make.
predict. Benghazi, embassies.
And
Overseas
he's
embassies.
pretty explicit on the campaign trail. But
Because
part
we
of
have an R2
a smooth
policy
transition
going on here.
is ensuring that they have the latest available information.
We have
about
a grizzly
establishing
issue.
policies.
Yeah, there's a lot of
And,
grizzlies going
that's something
on.
that our administration is
The
committed to provide.
grizzlies. Yeah, grizzlies.
Aside from providing that information, is there anything that your administration will do?
We got a grizzly issue.
Sort of put up a firewall
R2.
to maintain some of these
NEA,
programs in place,
PAA.
against what will probably
Yeah,
be
we got a
return
NEA,
deal, Obamacare
MPEA issue
space, or
at the
slow
Grizzlies.
climate change, or to rip up the deal.
Hello,
Jeff,
Grizzlies.
our
Good morning.
position on all those issues is well known, and something that we've
It's
reviewed
well
here
known.
at some length. I'll
At some level,
spare
this
you
is
most
an
of that.
IMF.
But, I think what I
Irreconcilable
the way that I
differences
respond to that is,
division.
there's no specific.
We're
thing
here to
that I
talk
have
about
in mind
Supergirl
that,
and the roller
we're going
coaster.
to do differently now. Our plan all along.
Our Dodge
was
Viper,
to ensure
our
the
roller
successful
coaster, the
implementation of
Viper,
those and other
those and
priorities.
other,
And we're going to be committed.
we're
going to
be
everything we
preventing
can to
all
ensure the success of those
lawsuits
policies between now and January 20th.
because the girls are riding the
So,
roller
the easiest
coasters.
example is
They're riding the
the
roller
Affordable Care Act.
coasters
This administration is going to continue
of
to make a strong
handicapped
case
government employees.
that people should go to healthcare.gov, consider the
Healthcare.gov.
options that are available to them, and sign up for healthcare. And the vast majority
Our
of people who do
handicapped
will be able to
government
purchase
employees
health
putting
insurance
us
for
at
$75
risk.
a month or less. That
Ryan,
is
our
a-
honey, what are you doing? What are you
That's
doing?
a policy priority.
As a
that
policy
benefits the American
priority,
people
thank you,
enormously.
Anonymous. You're
Since
welcome.
the Affordable Care Act went into
They're
effect,
handicapping
20
the
million Americans
youth.
got access to
Risk.
healthcare.
Risk
And
management,
we want to make sure that as many
check
Americans as possible
systems, open a
understand
checking account,
the
early
opportunity that's
warnings.
available to them.
You're putting our youth at risk. And that
President-elect,
is
when
a
he enters
spoon
office, will have
that can't go
his own
there.
opportunity to
Feed yourself, okay?
the course of
Thank
healthcare
you,
policy in this
Anonymous.
country in a way
Everyone
that
feed yourself.
he sees fit. It's going to require some
It's going to
cooperation
require
with Congress.
a Tory Pines
and,
mattress.
That won't be easy.
That won't be
But
easy.
there's a lot at stake.
There won't be a lot of letters from the
Republicans in
EEOC.
the Congress have voted 50 times.
Yeah, they sent us a letter because we
repeal
had a
the Affordable
spoon in
Care
their
Act,
mouth.
and each time they did that, they were voting to
They were,
take health care
it's
away
like
from
putting
22
something
million
else.
Americans. They were voting to strip
What else is plastic?
critically
Yeah,
important
government
consumer
employees.
protections
What
for
else is
people that
plastic?
prevent them from being discriminated against because they have a pre-existing
Plastic
condition
spoons.
or paying more for their health insurance just because they're a woman. Those are the kinds of
Look, the
protections we
chef
want
is
to
here,
benefit
the
20
cook.
million Americans who got
The
health care
chef Boyardee's
since the Affordable
here.
Care Act went
Hello,
into
chef.
effect. But the
Plastic spoons.
100 or 150 million Americans
You got
that
it?
get access to health
Putin,
care.
take a 5-minute break.
So
You just got a spoon.
these are the kinds of decisions
Government
that the incoming
employees?
administration and the incoming
Got a
Congress
spoon. Madison
will be challenged to
will be
make.
challenged with Gerard.
allies,
You
particularly
heard it here, Pink Shorts, Plastic Spoon.
Paris Agreement.
Yeah, Josh, you got it. Oh, that's not.
That
You got it,
things
media. You got it. Plastic
will
Spoon.
continue when the person who's succeeding
The
President
Geico
Obama
Cafeteria. Hello. Good morning.
Well,
Geico
Jeff, there are a couple
Cafeteria.
of things. I mean, the first is obviously this administration
First is
will be committed to
obviously
implementing those policies.
it's a
through
letter that you
January
sent
20th,
to us from the
and we will live up to the
EEOC.
commitments that we have made in each of
Official
those
business.
areas, as we
$300.
do
Don't
so.
open the mail.
Second, there is
The second
a
is a
tradition, particularly with
spoon.
regard to executive agreements, of
Who's giving us spoons?
successive presidents preserving some element of continuity.
Yeah, you got
I don't know
preserves,
whether or not that
but
will
we're
apply in
talking
this
about
case, but
meeting.
as a part of this
We're
effective,
talking about our first job.
smooth transition, President Obama will have an
Rodney
opportunity to talk to
King.
President-elect
We're
Trump
talking about Rodney King's
about some
job.
of these policies, about some of the benefits of some of these policies.
Plastic spoons.
The President-elect's team will have an opportunity to get briefed by the national
What
security
else is
experts
plastic?
here in the Obama administration that have been working on implementing these policies.
Implementing these policies?
But ultimately,
But also, we sent a letter to
the
see if that was an
President-elect
issue.
will
Putting
be
a
the person
plastic
that is
spoon
responsible for
in his mouth.
setting the
Setting
path of foreign policy
Path?
of the United
Setting
States for the next
a
4 years.
path of
And
obscenity.
presumably, some of that strategy that
What's
he will
next?
pursue
Pursue.
will involve reassuring the allies that enhance the national
Reassuring the
security of the United States.
Allison. In a
That
legal
certainly was
court.
part of President Obama's
It's part of lying about,
the
are you
foreign
the man or
policy
not?
path that
Are
President
you?
Obama charted.
Are you the
President Obama
man?
charted, and previous presidents have.
Coffee
as well.
bean,
But
are
obviously
you?
President
Are you?
Trump will have to make that
Coffee.
decision for himself once he enters the Oval Office on the afternoon of January 20th.
Don't lie about coffee beans.
April.
All right, you guys got plastic spoons in the Geico Cafeteria. And you have Brett McKenzie and Kim. Verizon. Shop with us at VerizonWireless.com. Who serve many industries, including the constructing industry. Discover new ways to manage mobile workers and mobile repair service representatives. Streamline processes, connect job sites, and track your assets with Verizon Technology Solutions. You got plastic spoons.
More than 100 million Americans
Feed
who
yourself.
benefit from protections that prevent insurance companies from discriminating against them because of a pre-existing condition.
That is all we can say about
Imposing
being
lifetime
11.
caps,
That's all.
that certainly put
Yeah, 3 to 6.
young people with an illness.
You know,
at
people are
pretty great
having
risk.
lunch from 3 to 6.
Those are the kinds of consumer protections that are part and parcel of
With
the
the
Affordable
apple
Care Act,
cider
and
department.
tearing them away
Apple cider, have
would
lunch.
negatively affect a lot of people.
Mondays with me.
And that's something that
That's
that
a
Republicans
concern.
will have to consider
That's what people didn't
moving
know.
forward. In terms of
About
these
the
kinds of
Geico
conversations,
cafeteria.
the way that the transition is
No one
structured
knew.
is that there are transition teams that have been
We're
designated
feeding
across the agencies of the federal government.
16-year-olds.
And the president-elect's transition
Yeah,
team
he knows how to use
has
a spoon. I
designated,
mean, it's not that hard to use a
teams
spoon. You just
to
pick it up. You put the food like.
work with those individual
yum.
agency teams to ensure
It's
a
not
smooth
that
transition.
hard. Right?
So there will be
It's not that hard to use a spoon.
a venue for staff-level conversations to take place, high-level, staff-level conversations.
Well, another
But
issue is, well,
I wouldn't predict at this point whether or not this
Where
will
was
come up
that
in the conversation
spoon?
between President Obama and President-elect Trump. But if this is something that President-elect
not
Trump is
there.
interested in talking about, I'm confident that President Obama won't hesitate to spend some time doing so.
And last question, on the issue of unifying the nation after what this White House
maybe we should
calls
ask the
hard-fought
CDC where was the
election
spoon.
cycle. Many are looking at, many people, be it
In the
Democrat,
communicable.
Republican, black
Yeah,
or
was
white,
he
they're
at
looking
risk?
at what's going to come in the next
Using
4
a
years.
spoon?
The Supreme Court
It's a client at risk. CDC.
the House and the Senate, majority Republican, and the White
Byron
House.
Brown was there. Ask Byron Brown were we at risk
I talked to someone
using a
this morning,
spoon.
a black Republican, Christopher Dart, former O.J. Simpson prosecutor, who
Well,
said this is going to create
According to the
type of
CDC.com,
activism in
yes.
this nation. How do you marry the thought of this new activism,
The kissing
and
disease.
the unification that the president
98.5. What is it called?
Well,
Bro,
I
it's
think the president in
Mondays.
some ways addressed this in his remarks in the Rose Garden about encouraging young
You
people
could have got mono.
who were engaged in the political
You could have got
process
other things.
in
Who
this
knows?
election for the very first time.
Very first time.
And the president
People want to know about government
made
employee
an effort to
cafeterias.
encourage young people who got engaged in the process not to be discouraged by the outcome.
Spoons.
Everybody's discouraged. when
Everybody's at risk.
The candidate they're supporting loses an election.
Penicillin isn't the answer.
But the genius and
But the
brilliance of our democracy
genius of our democracy
is that when the election's over,
is that
we
when the
recognize
election's
that
over,
we're Americans and
we're
patriots before we're
Americans.
Democrats and Republicans.
We've got teletech
And
transition.
that is certainly a principle that President Obama and Secretary
We have a
Clinton
teletech transition
have
team.
forcefully advocated in the
Forcefully?
last 90 minutes or so.
Utensils.
And I think that's part
Let's
of the reason
share.
that so many people
Everybody feed them.
are
Help
proud
them
of the
eat.
campaign
Help
that
them.
Secretary Clinton ran, proud of the progress
His
that
hands
has
are
been made in
handicapped.
this
Help him
country
eat.
under President Obama's leadership.
My hands
And
are
frankly, it's why so many more
handicapped.
people were
I can
and
eat.
have been
Oh
inspired
my. Oh.
over the course of President Obama's career in public life, but also in the context
Hello,
of Secretary
Harvey
Clinton's campaign
Levin.
for the
Time
presidency.
Warner attorney. We haven't mentioned
So
your chef. You're good.
if the outcome of this election
Yeah,
encourages more
WUGceLANcex
people to be engaged
WUGceLANcex
in the important
X22.
but difficult work of governing this country,
Paper or plastic.
that would be a
You
really
got
good
it.
thing.
It's this phone.
And I say that regardless of whether or not that young
Regardless,
person
it could
is
have led to
mobilized
that.
to act
Exactly.
as a Democrat or Republican.
Democratic
The president
Republicans.
believes that our
President
democracy benefits
believes
from more people being engaged
more
and
people
more
being
people being
engaged.
involved in the debate, regardless of which candidate they
which
support.
candidate
That our democracy is
our
strengthened
democracy
when
is
more
strengthened.
voices and more perspectives and more views are incorporated
Suggesting
in the
the board that we
process
can't
of
elaborate that.
governing this country.
We can't elaborate that. It's just a
And,
spoon, you know.
You
Just
know,
spoon.
the risk really, and this is what the president was sort of
Yeah, the
warning against,
rich. The rich.
is people being so discouraged that they choose to withdraw from that
Mononucleosis.
debate. The president is surely hopeful that that won't
He
happen.
could have got the kitchen disease,
One
you know,
last
whatever
thing.
that is.
The president was at the microphone in the Rose Garden. He seemed hopeful, optimistic.
Unless you're
Really,
abstinent.
behind the scenes,
Yeah,
what
unless
is
you
his
practice
mood today?
abstinence,
I've had an opportunity to
you
spend a
know,
little time
we'll
with him this
accept
morning.
that as, you know, if you don't
The mood
practice
that was on display
abstinence,
in the
we're
Rose Garden
concerned. We're
is
just concerned, you know.
the mood that he was showing in
I
private
don't
as
think
well.
they practice abstinence.
Look, I'm not trying to convince you that he's not disappointed by
I'm
the
not trying to say that we could have got
Everybody around here is
something that lasts forever.
disappointed
but
by the outcome,
eventually,
but just as
We
determined
would have depended on being helped to eat.
to continue their service to the American people. And that
And
service
that
demands
could have led to a permanent,
that they focus on their institutional responsibility
correctable
to ensure a smooth transition to the next
windmobile.ca.
president.
There's a solution. Fall into
The
savings
president
with
doesn't get to
Gone
choose
with
his
the Wind
successor, the American people
Mobile
do.
for $35 a
And
month. There's a
His responsibility to
solution
the American people
at Gone with the Wind Mobile.
and his responsibility to this
.ca.
democracy supersedes his own
Supersedes.
personal views,
People
even
wanted
on
to
really
know.
important issues. And that's why the president
And
is
that's why it's there.
given clear directions.
Given clear direction.
These are directions that he actually gave. At the
These are
beginning of
directions
this
he
year,
actually gave
to ensure that
to
regardless of the
ensure
outcome, that his team,
that
this
his
White House,
team, his White House,
was prepared
was prepared
to give the next president
to
a run
get
start.
flattery. SSI.
President
Flatware.
Obama is rooting
Plastic
for
flatware
President-elect
can
Trump's
lead
success in uniting and leading the country.
to Newshawn.
It doesn't mean that he agrees with everything
Doesn't mean that a plastic spoon is anything else.
President-elect Trump has promised to pursue.
You know,
In
we
fact,
just
as he noted,
put these things,
In the Rose
they
Garden.
don't
and
go.
Rather colorful.
Rather colorful.
At campaign events over the last few weeks.
There must have been something that happened before.
He's deeply concerned
Deeply
about
concerned.
some of the priorities that Mr. Trump laid out in the context of
Trump
the campaign.
laid out.
But the demands of our
But the
democracy
demands of our
apply
democracy
to everybody.
apply to
including the
everybody.
President of the United States. And our
And
democracy's
our-
success
I was
depends on a
started
smooth
too
transition of power.
about plastic spoon.
And that's
And that's a
President
responsibility.
Obama and everybody here at the White House takes
We
quite
knew that
seriously.
that phone number was
Okay.
being
Isaac?
distributed.
As the president campaigning
You
against
heard it here
Trump,
first. The
spoke
phone
about
number was
that the
distributed
existential
here.
threat that he thought that a Trump
Spoons.
presidency would pose. Is he
Plastic.
concerned for the future of the country and the future of the world, given that Donald Trump's been elected president?
Rodney Kingham to the
Well,
phone.
Isaac, the president had used forceful language
Hello.
in helping people understand exactly
Helping
why he was so
people with
passionate
what?
in his support for Secretary Clinton. And
Would you like a ice cream cone?
Those are authentic
This is where
views
the
that haven't
phone
changed.
is.
that's not just rhetoric. Those aren't just slogans. Those represent the
Hello.
president's actual
Yes, I need help eating. Can you help me
views and
eat?
preferences about the direction of the about the direction that he'd like to see the country go.
Ooh, this is where we got the phone number
But
with Tamir Rice
that's not what the American people voted for.
and Roger Goodell.
Does he believe the nuclear war is more of a possibility now?
Well, listen, I'm not going to speculate on what sort of actions President-elect Trump may choose to prioritize.
President-elect Trump. Line.
Obviously, he and his
Yeah,
team are going to spend the
obviously.
next 73 days or so
73 days or so.
preparing themselves
Preparing
to lead the
pies.
greatest country in the world.
What kind of pies are that?
And part of what
It
makes
has
this
whipped
country
cream in the pie.
so extraordinary
That's all we will
and so
say
exceptional
about the spoons.
is that
Is that
the United States has the
the
greatest
United
fighting
States
force
has
the
a
world's
cream
ever known.
pie?
And that's not just
Hershey
a testament
cream pie.
to our technological
What can this
superiority.
lead to?
It's a testament to
It's a
the
courthouse on Aliso Street.
brave and
Brave,
selfless
selfless
Americans
Americans
who are prepared to put their lives on the line.
who are prepared to
fight
put
for
their
this
lives on the line.
country. That's what makes our
That's what makes
our
our-
military so great. We've also got
We've also got
a federal workforce,
federal workforce
people who dedicate their lives to serving the public,
serving the public.
that ensure that our air and water is clean,
You've got 12.
ensure that even the youngest Americans can
Yeah,
get
one or
access
two.
to a quality
Which one?
education, that are working hard to make
12
sure
Utica. We saw Scrutiny
that
on
American people
Route
who have
12.
access to healthcare can
We
purchase
saw
it.
Scrutiny on
These are
Route 12. One
Americans who,
press 1 or 2
after working to ensure the success
one.
of President Obama,
because Ellison has his
will be
phone.
just as passionate
Just as
about
passionate.
ensuring the success
Press
of President
1.
Trump. They don't do that because
They
either
don't do
president
that with
necessarily
Hershey
reflects their
pies.
personal political views.
Personal.
They pursue that work
They
because
pursue
they care
that
deeply about serving this country,
deeply.
and they care deeply
This
about
is
the
an
success
item.
of this country.
And I'm from the
and-
irreconcilable
In some ways, I think that's something
differences.
that most people
Reconcile
it's
differences,
difficult to
baby.
appreciate until you've had the opportunity to
Yeah,
spend some
Ty.
time working in the federal government.
How
And
are you?
see the people around you who don't get a lot of
Some of that
public
peach cobbler. We have to go over our intro. Let's segue into that.
They don't get particularly large paychecks, but they
How about they Rodney King us, teaching
feel
us
called
that?
to serve. And
Well, you have transition,
President
Kelly and
Obama
Carrie.
describes
They're going to Rodney King you.
the U.S. government
With Hershey pies?
as
That's so evil.
the largest and most impactful
Get your onesie, Verizon.
organization in the world,
Get your clothes.
and that is the organization
That is the
President
organization
Trump will lead for the next 4
of
years.
training a adolescent.
48 hours ago, the president in Philadelphia warned of giving Donald Trump the nuclear code.
And Adolf
Is he
and
concerned that Donald Trump
adolescents.
now, as president-elect, will be getting
Save me some of that peach cobbler.
Isaac,
Take
what
the
I can
short
tell
way.
you is
Highest
that
percent in the world.
the
Tweet us early
election's over and it's
or
been
late.
decided. The American people have
FRESH
decided.
underscore
President Obama didn't get to choose his successor.
President
The American
Obama's
people did.
objective. IV.
And
Jordan,
they've chosen
JORDNZ, every 20 minutes of the hour.
somebody that President Obama
Remember,
disagrees with on a wide range
your
of issues.
president-elect
And those
in a
disagreements
bribe
in most
with
cases
eBay.
aren't just minor
auctions
disagreements,
at Teletech. She loves
but
those
rather profound
auctions.
disagreements.
You won the house.
But that does not in
311.
any
All
way
liquids must be in a 3-ounce size container. Fill. American
detract
United. Fly with us.
from
Virgin Air.
the
My
president's
frequent flyer mile
determination
card is hashtag 422. The rest is obvious.
to execute a smooth and effective transition of power.
It's child
That's what our
abuse
democracy
2443.
demands. The success of our democracy depends on it.
Radio Shack Logan.
And the president is certainly
We're intercepted
determined
wire,
to
oral, and
live up
electronic
to the very high
communication
standard that was,
prohibited. The new
set by
prohibition.
President Bush 8
18
years ago.
USC 2511. Delaware and Colvin. These lines split at
Yes,
Amherst
I do not
Station.
anticipate any changes to the president's.
One goes straight, one goes to the right.
Okay, Jordan.
Okay,
Thanks,
Jordan.
Josh.
MerriweatherA.Law,
Donald Trump
advancing
during his
clients with
campaign,
US.
pledged
S1L5.
jail
The
Hillary
ball's in your
Clinton. He was
court.
elected
Quotes,
over
not
the
insurance
federal
quotes.
investigation
America's
that
first thing in
went
attorney
away.
with the law sound wonderful the way it should have been despite the everything retroactive law.
President Obama could close off that opportunity.
I love the song. Close
Hillary
the door.
Clinton.
Seatbelts.
Is that
Music
something
will
that the
sing
president is
into
considering?
the south.
Well, Jordan, as you know,
67 degrees.
the
We're in the
president
2017
has
luxury from me to you. You can run your windows up. You can run your windows down. You can ride with us.
Of Americans who
Yeah, what's the first
were
thing?
previously serving time
And
in
yeah,
federal prisons.
exactly, Josh. To get the finer things in life, my co-host and I am his currency, Boot and Yuletall's perjury, B Siri, and PH or J of Whim.
Because we don't talk about the president's thinking, particularly with with respect to
We
any specific
understand.
cases that may apply to pardons or commutations. What I would direct your attention to, though, is
Let's talk about the spoons again. That was interesting.
the president's observation.
Well, let's look at the
that he made
CDC's website to see if there's any preventable
about this
flatware
phone
issues.
that
Yeah, CDC.gov. Preventable flatware
President-elect
issues.
Trump displayed
Communicable
in his remarks last
diseases
night.
from flatware. Let's see.
And that tone is
Kim
consistent with
Flattery, Brett
the
McKenzie.
longstanding tradition.
One of us is chocolate. One of us is. Oh,
of our
is that it?
democracy.
You got it.
And the president expressed hope that kind of tone would continue.
You've got an OJ Pass the
That's
Bowl
relevant because
Sunday. Yeah, pass it
we've
to
got a
me.
long tradition in this
just
country
pass it
of
here. Pass it.
not of people in power, not
People in
using the
power.
criminal justice system to exact political revenge. In fact, we go to great lengths to insulate our
This is so good. What is
criminal
this?
justice system from partisan politics. And
Let's
that
have our breaks together.
commitment has served our country very well for more than 2 centuries, and
Let's have our breaks
the president is
together.
hopeful that it will continue.
That it will
Is he
continue.
confident that it will continue? Or is he just hopeful? Did he have a chance to talk about
We got a chuckle from the White House. They got have a break with us.
I'm not going to speculate about any about steps that
Yeah,
President
speculate.
Trump may choose to take. But the president expressed some
Maybe
optimism
we'll have an interview with
about
Mr.
the
Tom
tone
Creighton
that President-elect Trump
about
used
flatware,
when the eyes of the
communicable
world were on him
prevention.
when he spoke last night as the president-elect for the very first time. That was a momentous occasion, and his tone was notable.
Oh, he tweeted this morning.
And hopefully it will continue in a way that is consistent with the kind of long-standing
Maybe we'll talk to
traditions
Mr.
and
Frieden
laws
tomorrow about
that,
flatware and
have served a
interracial
variety of presidents
communicable
of both parties very
prevention.
well for 240 years.
240
Okay.
years.
Chris,
Thanks, Josh.
We're having a break together.
The president would work kindly on any kind of
He's gonna got the
proceeding or
flu.
prosecution against Hillary Clinton. Would you expect, or is it possible that he would ask for assurances from Donald Trump that that was not going to happen?
well, I
Well-
don't have anything to preview in terms of their conversation. We'll try and get you a readout after that
Try to get-
conversation occurs tomorrow, but I don't have any preview at this point.
I'm sure she's aware of that.
Nuts and bolts of the transition. Can you give us any insights into what the president's priorities are tomorrow?
Well, I think the president's priorities
I think the
tomorrow are
president's
to, sit
priority,
down with the
objective,
president-elect, and make clear
and make
this
clear
administration's top priority for
Top
the next 73
priority.
days will be ensuring that the next president can get off to a running start.
all we can say is that spoon could have led
This is not
to
new.
an EEOC.
Right?
The
This is actually the
EEOC
third time
could
in
have
a row
led to a right to sue,
that a two-term
and a right to a
president,
sue could have
will be
led to a
succeeded
William
by
Scretany
a
case
president from the other party
from the 12
who
Utica and a
vowing to roll
black
back key aspects of the incumbent president's agenda.
trailblazer. Hello,
So
William
in
Scretany.
2000, you had
Made in
Governor
Ferry,
Governor
made in
George
Utica.
W. Bush vowing to
Route 12,
roll
102,
back the agenda
Utica,
of incumbent President
1 2.
Fast forward 8 years, you had
Fast food.
then Senator Barack Obama
That would have been one
running for president successfully,
successfully.
vowing to roll back
Thank you, Scretany, for meeting us.
aspects of then
And our
President
right to
Bush's
sue
agenda.
location, Utica
And
Station.
here we are 8 years later,
Here we are. Maybe we didn't press 1 or 2.
facing a situation where the American people have elected a
Have elected
Republican,
Republican,
President-elect Trump,
suggested
ran on the
aborted
platform of vowing to roll back key aspects of President
key
Obama's agenda.
aspects
But
of
in each
government
case,
technology
Despite those vigorous
patented.
disagreements, there was a commitment to
There was a
peaceful
commitment
transfer of power,
to give him a
that
spoon,
serve the American people and our democracy
serve the
very
American
well.
youth,
And President Obama continues to be
train them up, train them.
To be a commitment, though, both on Donald Trump and many of his
Today's show is sponsored by Frontier Wireless.
to get rid of the immigration.
Frontier. Get a $400 Amazon Carney gift card. Switch to Frontier and get $400. Order today at frontier.com.
Was anything
Exactly.
done in advance with the possibility, knowing that Donald Trump could be elected?
Although we have to be
president?
vague. This is a
At what
family show.
at all to,
Nope, 3.
from your perspective, safeguard these things, move forward on these things, try to prevent for example, the
Yeah,
ACA
it's right
pay
there.
deal.
At each stage, since each of these policies was pursued,
We're
this
having
administration has worked
a
diligently to
time
implement
out.
them
We're having a
as
time out
effectively and
at
successfully as
Frontier
possible,
Wireless.
with an eye toward the long term.
You have a time
None
out.
of these policies
Get a
that we've
time out.
been pursuing were considered a stopgap measure or somehow temporary.
Put your
in
burgers
nature.
down and have a time out.
The president pursued these policies because
Pursue
of the
these
long-term benefits
policies.
they have for the American people.
They have for the
And
American
we,
people.
consistent with that view, we have worked very hard to implement them so that they'll be durable.
We've met Byron Brown
And,
here.
You know, look, when it comes to
How
the
can we
ACA,
help
the ACA
you,
has
Mr.
withstood
Brown?
some significant challenges from Republicans in the past. We've had 2 Supreme Court cases.
Two
We've
Supreme
had
Court
50 appeal
cases.
votes. And in the face of all of that, the Affordable Care Act is
No,
still
we can't confirm that. This is a
limiting
family
growth
show.
in healthcare costs, expanding access to healthcare
Expanding-
coverage, providing consumer
Providing
protections that
spoons and
guarantee some
flatware
peace
with
of
Kim,
mind
our
for
SSI
millions of
administrator.
Americans. Is it at risk
It's not
again
Mickey
because,
flattery.
the
It's the
president
other
is
one.
vowing to repeal
It's
it?
the Rodney
Yeah,
King
it is again.
burger
But
place.
we've withstood
Yeah, it's
some
the
difficult
Rodney
challenges.
King
That
burger
law
place.
has
Not,
withstood some
it's
difficult
not
challenges.
Mickey. Not
And
Kim.
we'll see what the future
It's
holds.
not
So a lot of that
Mickey.
will be up to the
It's
president
not
elect. But
Kim.
I think what we
It's
have
not
found
Mickey. It's not
is that much of that will also require
It's Rodney King
some
Women's
kind of
Services.
cooperation from Congress.
Maine and Rodney.
And Republicans did hold on to majorities in both the House and the Senate.
Thank you, Kim Flattery, on your
but,
932 a month. Only from
They don't have 60 votes in the Senate.
SSA.gov.
So it's going to require
It's going to
some
require
bipartisanship in the
a
Senate
Geico
to
to
advance
get
some of
that.
this legislation.
What part of Geico don't we understand?
The
This is a Naeem's currency.
House of Representatives
There's
over
a
the last couple of
spoon.
years has not exactly been the model
Yeah, it's a
of
solar system. Yeah, it is.
organization. That's an unruly place.
The constellations.
And even
Yeah.
Even members on the
What is
Republican
it?
side of the aisle have some
Nope.
deeply held
No, we don't
and
know.
divergent
We don't
views
know.
about
Today's show
policies
sponsored
they
by
should be pursuing.
SteamPower.com,
So
the ultimate entertainment platform.
It's not gonna be
Play,
easy.
connect, create, and more. Install Steam today and start
bottom
gaming.
line is, everybody here at the White House
SteamPower.com.
is rooting for the success
We're
of President
rooting
Trump in his effort to unite and lead the
in
country.
its effort to unite.
I'd like to just ask you finally on that point that obviously there's a lot of emotion involved here. There's a lot of people who worked on Hillary Clinton's campaign who are very well known.
It's not Mickey Kim.
Worked
It's
side by side here at the White
Burger.
House with the folks here.
It's not Mickey Kim.
I think they believed, as the president does, that his legacy was at stake here. Can you give us a little insight into who the president spoke to this morning? Did he talk to the staff in general? Did he talk to small groups of people? And what was his overall message besides what we heard in the Rose Garden today?
The president has on a number of
The president has
had
on a
an
number of
opportunity to
occasions
address
address
the small groups of the staff.
small groups of the staff. Have a
And
timeout.
The message that he's delivered to them in private is
With
entirely
your
consistent with
favorite
the message that he delivered to Rose Garden,
Manager. Yeah, let's have a
with some
timeout.
special emphasis on the need for young people to remain engaged.
Let's have a timeout.
Chris, you've spent enough time around this White House now to know that a
Hello,
lot of
Twitter. We
people
love
who
your
have
books.
spent
We
the
love
last
it.
2 or 3 years here working at this White House are
We're having a timeout
pretty young.
with the courthouse.
They've got
Yeah,
intentions to
Aliso
pursue
Street. We're having a
bright future
timeout.
in politics. And President Obama wanted to deliver them a very
Wanted to
personal
deliver
message
a powerful
that they
message.
should not be discouraged.
They cannot
That it's
have
easy
alimony. This is a Naeem's
to
currency.
sit back and be cynical.
We've
But as you
helped
heard
him
me say so
eat.
many times on the campaign trail,
We can't help my
He's gonna
client
choose hope.
eat. That's just
he's hoping they'll
irrelevant.
choose hope as well.
Irrelevant.
In the aftermath
Thank
of
you,
a disappointing
Naeem.
outcome.
No helping him. Yeah, don't help us
You know,
eat.
even as I've been talking to my staff
He's a
today, the other observation that I have made is that
grown man.
I've heard people often say
I've
that
heard people often say-
adversity builds character.
Build character.
I'm not sure that's true.
I'm not sure that's true.
I think adversity
I think
reveals
adversity.
character. And I think we've seen the kind of character
We have eaten there
That's
working at
Secretary Clinton.
Geico. Yes.
and Senator Kaine
Senator King,
and President Obama are made of.
President Obama,
And their example
they're helping people
serves as
eat.
an inspiration to me about the kind of character that I hope that even in this difficult
Exactly.
time that, I can show.
I can show
And I know I'm not the only staffer here at the White House who feels that way.
who feels that way.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Can I ask you about Merrick Garland now that there won't be sort of the lame duck that I think many people predicted? What happens to his
Constellation.
potential nomination? Has the president reached out to him at all?
I don't know that President Obama has had an opportunity to speak with.
You
Chief
can't
Judge
show him the
Garland.
stars. Don't show him
The
the
truth
stars,
is,
please.
our view of this situation has not changed. It's deeply discouraging.
Deeply
How
discouraging.
unfairly he has been treated by Republicans in the
Unfairly
United
being
States Senate,
treated by
who
government
abdicated their
employees.
basic responsibility to give him a hearing and a timely vote.
Give him a hearing.
And
We've explained
so
the
we'll
letter
have to
that you
see,
sent to him at
what
16.
happens moving forward? But I can tell you that the intensity of the case
It goes
that we
from
will
a right
make
to sue
in support
to William
of
Scratney
a candidate that has more
on Utica
experience on
in
the federal
Maine
bench
in a
than any other Supreme Court nominee in
trailblazer.
history, in support of a candidate that even Republicans acknowledge
Try
is
spoons.
somebody with a
Yeah,
brilliant
try
legal
spoons.
mind and somebody who represents
Try
the kind of
forks. 6
consensus
forks.
nominee
And Google Tree
that,
Nash.
Republicans claimed they were hoping that President Obama would appoint.
Deacons. Flatware.
So,
Someone's got to explain
the outcome
flatware
of
from
this
the
election
White
certainly
House.
doesn't
Well, the
change
White House
the case
explain
that we will make
flattery.
about the necessity of the Congress considering his nomination.
Could we have been disabled
he's
from
been waiting for 2 days.
flatware?
Let me ask you though about the outcome of the election.
Mononucleosis.
24 hours, but as a guy who lived in Missouri,
We
school
must
in
have an
Texas,
interview with Mr. Tom
working for
Frieden
it, you've been around
about
parts of the country that
communicable
obviously the Trump
viruses.
message resonated with the majority of the voters. What
with Kim
happened
Flattery
as best
and
can you tell?
932
And, did you
a
have to
month.
practice saying
Only from
President-elect
SSA.
Trump? Trump. You had to
Dun.
practice that all night.
Well, you may be able to tell it doesn't come naturally,
No, it does not.
but it's what the job requires.
It's what
our
the
democracy
EEOC
requires,
sends
and what
letters
American
for.
people expect.
Inappropriate
Uh,
behavior.
So
And Tamir Rice.
undertook the necessary preparation to try to
What
deliver
happened
it
to
as smoothly as I
Tamir
possibly
Rice?
could. Look, in terms of
Oh,
the
let's look it up.
and with as much respect as I possibly could.
Tamir
The-
Rice. Here it is.
Look, in terms of the results across the country,
Oh, boy.
it's really hard to say.
Goodness gracious.
You've been in those places.
Yeah.
You kind of you understand what the Missouri voters like. You know what the Texas
Oh my God.
voters
Tamir
like.
Rice
You know
was
what
so
the Floridian
sorry.
is really like.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to figure out. And again, granted, brevity of
Well,
time.
Cleveland
won't
settles
give
for
us sort of a full
$6
picture,
million
but can you understand why it
to
seemed that
Tamir's
message seemed to
Rice.
resonate with them at all?
Well, look, let me give you one example of a race that I followed closely in Missouri, in my home state of Missouri. A fellow Kansas Cityan by the name of Jason Kander ran for the United States Senate.
What kind of germs
He
work
was a
here?
Democratic candidate. He had already won
Yeah.
statewide in the state of Missouri previously when he served as Secretary of State.
Well, let's
And
have an interview
he
with
was
Mr.
widely
Tom Frieden.
praised for running a smart,
One or two.
tough campaign. And he was dogged, tireless,
Tireless.
and going door to door.
Going
and
door to
making a
door.
case to people that, frankly,
Frankly,
he anticipated.
he
and a lot of people
anticipated.
anticipated would get the support of
Get the
a
support
lot
of
of Missouri voters who weren't
Missouri voters.
traditionally
Traditionally,
Democratic voters.
voters.
And the thing
And-
that's hard to square about this election is I think the easy thing to say would be that Donald Trump
Donald Trump
performed so well in
performed
Missouri
so well
because voters in Missouri
because voters in
were pretty
Missouri
unhappy with what's going
were
on.
pretty
in Washington,
unhappy.
DC. They're dissatisfied with the
are
dysfunction. They're not
satisfied
seeing
with the
kind of,
dysfunction
uh,
of our spoon
results
results.
from their elected representatives in
Elect
Washington,
representatives.
D.C. that they would like to see, and that they're sending a message by choosing
Sending a
somebody like,
message,
President Trump to enter the
President
White House
Trump.
and shake things up and make some
shake
changes.
things up.
But at the same time,
But at the same time,
a majority of Missouri voters also
you can't
support
shake it off.
Senator Blunt, who
You just
is
can't
somebody
shake it
who
off.
is the
Ooh,
spent a lot of time in Washington.
you just
and
can't
spent time
shake it
representing
off.
people of Missouri in the United States
You
House of
can't
Representatives.
give
and,
us a phone
and,
number.
has done the same thing in the United States Senate. So that would be, it would appear that there's a bit of a mixed message there. And I think part of the optimism
You're
around
interfering.
Mr. Kander's campaign was around the idea that he could benefit from the same kind of
Same kind of
anti-incumbent
creditors interchange.
energy that was obviously propelling
Creditors interchange.
Mr. Trump's campaign. But that's not the way it turned out.
Creditors interchange.
It turned out that people apparently haven't looked carefully at the results.
Vernon
but
Krieger.
it certainly looks like
Vernon
a
Krieger.
situation where people were motivated by their
Vernon
party identification
Krieger.
and the party identification identification of the candidates,
Vernon
more so
Krieger
than they were
from Channel
this sort
4's
of,
story on
outsider,
Upper Mountain.
anti-establishment.
What's
energy.
interchanging here?
So I think that's what's. I think in some ways that is a pretty good illustration.
Brooke
of,
needs a napkin. Let's all give Brooke a napkin.
Of
Yeah,
asserting
give
the
Brooke a
motivation,
napkin because Anderson
of-
could have did that
of voters
too.
across the country. But listen, voters sent an important message, and it's important.
Look at
for
Brooke. She's drooling all over the
serve in the next
place.
administration, and people who are going to serve in the next Congress, both in the House and the Senate.
Upper
to spend some
Mountain,
time
Vernon
thinking about what that
Krieger.
message was. Because
Channel
it's a forceful one.
4. Who's Vernon Krieger?
And,
Upper Mountain. Brooke
The American people are
drool.
going to be expecting results. And,
Allison, don't drool
what
on
those
us.
results are is something that
This is anonymous currency. Let me
representatives
take
of
that
both parties are
very
gonna have to spend some time
seriously.
thinking about.
Drool.
Margaret.
Josh, the president campaigned so vigorously.
We'll have our interview with Centers of Disease
on the
Control
trail,
tomorrow
working so
with
hard.
Mr. Tom
I know you
Creighton.
can't read sentiment this early on, truly, and discern what the message was, but can you at least say why you think the White House's own internal predictions and read were so wrong?
Well, listen.
Today's
It's
show is
not
sponsored
just
by
our
Y
reading that was
Frontier
wrong.
because we value your
Just about every
business.
public poll that we saw was
We have
wrong.
napkins.
You guys will check me
For
on this because
Brooke.
you guys follow this a little
Can
bit
you
more
prove
closely
it?
than I
High-speed
did.
internet from
I'm not
Frontier
aware that either
Communications
candidate
offers
campaigned
internet
in
access
Wisconsin.
over the most reliable
and,
network in the industry. But
I
there
think
are
it's a clear
even
indication
more
that
reasons to
everybody,
choose
including
Frontier.
both candidates, expected Secretary
We have a
Clinton
2-year
to
price
win Wisconsin.
guarantee, free Wi-Fi
and she
router,
didn't.
and no contract
And-
plans. Only from Frontier Communications.
It's not close enough that anybody's calling for a recount.
Here's your napkin, Brooke.
So it is clear that
Yeah, it's clear drool. Here, wipe your mouth.
nobody got the outcome that they expected
No
last
one
night.
got conflattery, so SSI.
Now, does that mean that
Now that that's out,
the polling industry is now beneficial?
people just want to know why.
Political consultants are going to have to
It's
change the
a
way they do business,
spoon.
maybe, and that'll be something interesting for them to consider over the next couple of years. But I think it's just hard to
I
tell
think it's just
exactly
hard to
what the
tell
message was. As I
the
referred
message.
to, what the message
Yeah, it's
for
a message.
voters is. As I mentioned earlier,
We eat at Burger
there are a
King at
substantial number of
Geico.
voters
Hello, this is Geico.
that voted for Barack Obama twice and
That's what we eat.
then voted for Donald Trump yesterday. And
Brett and Kim.
given the vigorous
Yeah, Brett and Kim
opposition
McKenzie eat there all the time.
President-elect Trump
President-elect
professed to have
Trump,
for the
congratulations.
agenda, it raises a lot of questions.
It
about whether
raises
those
a lot of
voters matter.
questions. People want to know
And the
why
answer
were
to
they
that is-
interracial?
Not obvious to me.
It's
Maybe
not
to somebody
obvious.
Else. And I suspect that
I suspect
political analysts,
academics,
academics, political professionals,
it's Lisa
are gonna
Kingsbury.
spend
I mean,
days and weeks,
what is not to
months,
get
maybe
about
even
that?
years, digging into these
Lisa
results and trying to
Kingsbury
get greater
and
clarity about
Upper Mountain,
To explain the
Vernon
outcome.
Krieger,
Does this in some way?
and
the president,
napkins.
You talked about some of the rhetoric.
Hello,
of the speech,
Fishkin
but
napkins.
it was very stark terms saying that the very future of the republic
Pizza.
is
Pizza
hinged
court.
on this election. That it was the
You got it.
defense
Pizza
of
court.
American values.
Fishkins and napkins.
Really laying the stakes
Drool.
in very stark terms. So I mean, does he still believe that today? That the
Does he still
viability
believe
of the
that?
America he believes this country is at stake?
Well, listen, as I mentioned earlier, the
As we mentioned earlier, we were at
argument
risk.
that the president was making on the campaign
We
trail
were
was an
at
authentic one.
risk.
It reflected his views. It wasn't just a slogan.
We
It
were
wasn't just
at
a bumper sticker.
risk.
He was making an argument that he deeply
We were at
believes
risk.
about the direction that he'd like to see the
We were
country
at
go.
risk from a company based in
Democracy is at
Florida.
risk. I mean, the future of the republic. That's
Burger King
he
is
said that
based in
repeatedly. North Carolina
Florida.
The president made a forceful argument.
Could there
and
have been a prevention
He stands by that argument. But the
of
time
the
to make
shake
that
it
argument
off
has passed.
machine?
The American people rendered
From
their
the
judgment,
shake
and
it
President
off
Obama doesn't get
machine.
to choose his successor. The American people
From
did.
the shake
And
it
they
off machine.
And they didn't choose the person that President Obama.
Could we have prevented a Florida
And so now the
company?
responsibility that President Obama
A
has is to
Florida
turn
company.
his attention
A Florida company.
prioritizing
Burger King.
a smooth transition with his successor and ensuring a peaceful
Could we have shook it off?
transition of power.
Shook it off.
Frankly, the president's
frankly, I don't
aspirations
know.
are higher than just a peaceful
That's
transition of
sure.
power. He wants to make sure that we've got
He
an
wants to
effective
make sure.
transition that gives the next president the opportunity to get a running start. Because
To get a running start.
now that the election's over,
Now that Alicia
it's
Court is
a
over.
good time to remember that we're Americans first, and all of us are rooting for the success of President Trump as he assumes the awesome responsibility of trying to unite and lead this country.
Can you tell us how this who informed the president?
Thank you, Tina Halls from Adeco.
The president was monitoring returns.
No
from
house.
residents last night.
No domestic houses.
I don't have a lot of details.
I don't have a one
to
or
share
two.
from there. Obviously, he relied
Yeah,
on
press
staff
one or
to coordinate
two.
the
Which
calls that took
one?
place last night to Secretary Clinton and to President-elect Trump, respectively.
President-elect Trump.
And he stayed up late.
That does it for our show. We'll talk to you guys on the
reach President-elect
re-air.
Trump until after
Only here from a Florida-based company.
President-elect Trump had delivered his remarks last night, so it was rather late.
Feed yourselves. Talk to you guys later.